Hey, everybody. It's me, Ryan, your ever loving show host. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's get everybody in here and in chat. Let's see here. First person we're bringing in is Mr. Paul Corliss. Hey, Paul Corliss.
Hey.
Then we got other Paul. Hey.
Hey.
And we got there's Sean. There we go. Just messing with you, Sean. Oh, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
We're all surviving. That's good. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd out there so far. Hello to everybody. Hopefully I was able to click on people and say hello during the intro there. Man, so it's episode 28, and we are starting out 2024. Man, first show of 2024. So missed you guys all last week, but we had fun and glad to see you guys were out in the chat and all that good stuff. Man, Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge is all wrapped up.
Get started on the 2024 project.
Yeah, that was a good time. I am glad that it's wrapped up for now. That's a lot of work. Thanks to Dave for putting on the last 8 of them, and here's to the next 8. Let's see what we got.
Well, there was some really good projects in that challenge.
There was.
We were telling everybody the whole time, you got to bring your A game. And people brought their A game. And,
yes, they did.
It was really hard to be a judge with that. I know Dave, me, and Hamilton were all talking about just how difficult that process was to put them in order and all that stuff on which ones we liked and the best and all that, because there wasn't a bad one in the bunch. I wish we had enough prizes that we could have given stuff to everybody, but maybe next year. We'll see what we got to do. But fun time. So let's do some chatting here. Let's talk about what everybody's doing. Mr. Corliss, what about you, sir? What have you been working on this week?
I've been just playing around with my laser, trying to get material tests done so that I know all my power and speeds and all that. And it's I've wasted a lot of plywood, let's say that.
You haven't wasted it. You're just testing it.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And there's 2 sides, so if it doesn't burn through, I can always use the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're all good. So are you getting closer to getting it dialed in, or?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And I got a whole mess of new patterns, so I'm anxious to give it a try and just see what it'll do. But yeah, so far I'm happy with it. I feel awful dumb sometimes when I use it, but it's a process.
Oh yeah,
learning.
Yeah. I think if you're using one of your tools and you don't learn something every time you use it, you might be taking it for granted.
If you don't fail, you don't learn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Yep. So, well, good deal.
I'm so curious on the pack that you're cutting. The pattern? What pattern kit or set?
Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. It was one of those ones where you get like a million patterns for $20 or something.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, there's a lot of patterns there, and I got to go through and see what exactly they're. But it's good for trying different things, and they're all all of them are editable. Is that the word I'm thinking? Editable? Yeah, they can be edited. And
Very close to edible, but
that's what, when I said that, I thought, did I say edible or editable?
I was thinking you got one of those chocolate 3D printers.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Those are good edits right there. Yeah.
I still want to try that pancake printer.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. What about you, Sean? What have you been working on this week? Looks like you got a pile of stuff behind you.
Oh yeah. A train display kit is this one. This is yesterday's project. Today's been shoveling snow, so that's another story.
Ugh.
I've had a couple other things, and of course, I just had a major brain fart. It's fun getting old.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been keeping busy.
Yeah, good.
Pretty much with new modules and getting her going. And
What's the
Got
house
machines
that's behind you? Is that new?
the what?
There's a house over your shoulder?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a train station.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh, cool.
it's kind of in the works, of course. It's G scale for like a garden railway.
Yeah.
And you can tell it looks like a tornado hit it.
Yeah, well, that's just a rundown one. I mean,
Uh,
oh, wow.
Nice.
we'll get there.
Very cool.
Did you actually cut all that out? So like that top part is that one piece, or is that several pieces and glued together?
I'm sorry, what was that, Paul?
Right. The roof frame.
Oh.
That's in there.
Just one solid piece.
One solid piece.
I'm not good at gluing stuff, so the better that it locks together, the better I am.
Cool. Very
Yeah, I ran into some of those issues.
Then you walk around all week with some pieces of wood super glued to your hand.
I still have super glue on my fingers.
So you have no fingerprints.
No.
Time to go steal some shit.
Yeah.
You don't get in
Gotta
trouble for
love
that
that stuff.
anyway. But
Do you know it works great for splinters? That and wood glue. If you get a wood splinter, a little super glue on it, let it dry, then peel it off, and it pulls that splinter right out.
Really?
Wood glue does it too.
Huh. Very cool. What about you, Mr. Hammerquist? What have you been up to?
Very busy. I played around in that Fusion slicer and made a 3D bowl. So this is all laser cut and then glued and put together. I don't know if you can see, it has kind of a sparkle paint to it, but it's hard to get on camera. When you get in the sun, it's really good. But this was fun. That Fusion 360 slicer, it's free. Throw in a 3D model and it slices it up into bits. This one, you can insert it so it cuts all the grooves in it, and then you just put it all together. But they have different options. So there's other options where you can slice it like you do a 3D print, but then cut all the individual pieces out and stack them and glue them together to make a 3D object. So playing around a little bit more with that.
Is this a new slicer?
No,
I
it's
know
old.
Fusion. Okay, because I know they had one a while ago, but then they took it down for a little bit. I just didn't know they brought it back up.
I've had it for 6 months. I looked and it was still live. You could still download it, but it's not being maintained or worked on or anything like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So worked on that. Then I got into the box XY and made the treasure chest. So the hinge is built in.
You got to show that hinge a little bit. That is so cool.
So it's just a circle cut out, and then this one piece right here slots into that circle.
Huh.
And you can just open and close.
That's
So-
cool.
That is cool. Yeah,
It seems like
I've used.
the hinge part would want to be a little thicker, but I mean, I guess they've tested it or something.
Well, the one that comes up in boxes PY is much smaller.
Oh.
I made it much bigger because I was like, let's have some fun. Let's see if this works. And so I think that doesn't scale up or down the hinge part. That stays the same no matter what size you scale it to.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want to mess around and try to make it bigger or bulkier for that. And I was more like, let's just see if this even works. So, and then that got me thinking, and my other phone stand.
That looks awesome.
This one's version 1, and this is what made me get super glue all over my fingers. I cut the slots way too big. I forgot to remember my kerfing there. So version 1, right? And then version 2 and 3 are on the way, where I'll be able to plug a cord through the bottom of it. And I also have a Klingon version. And then just some simple phone holders.
Nice.
Good. I'm backwards. Sorry. So
that's all 3mm Baltic birch plywood, is it?
No, this is actually 3mm MDF.
Oh,
yeah. Got a bunch of it. Got a bird of prey, and had a lot of spray paint that was running out. So that's how I got the effect.
That's cool.
We got. I mean, I have about, I think, 8 different designs.
That almost looks like a bottle opener, the last one.
Oh yeah, the Enterprise.
All right. Well, there's a project for when you get a plasma.
Oh yeah.
All right. What was that one, Paul?
This is for the Pleasure Planet Risa. You put this out when you are feeling in a sociable mood.
Oh, okay. So it's what is it? The pineapples that people do at the campgrounds or something like that.
Yeah. So that's a big joke on board, and I'm doing all those for the cruise. They have the intergalactic craft swap where a bunch of crafters and makers all start making stuff, and we just trade our creations on board.
Awesome.
There's no selling, no money. It's all, hey, I made this, I want that. And you know, there's some really cool stuff on there, and I'm going to try to do a video, talk to some people, and see if they, you know, want to be on video. So we'll see how that turns out.
Sweet. That's awesome. That'll be fun to see. All right. Well, for me, it's been a pretty busy week. I put out a video earlier this week on working on the closet over here. Should give everybody a little view of it over there. There it is. There she is. Haven't done the second part of it yet. We'll be it's this week with Christmas lights taking down stuff has been pretty crazy. We're going out of town tomorrow for a couple days, and so I was trying to get everything down before we left. Not happening, but the snow that we had one day, and then we had like heavy rain for another day. It kind of put everything back a little bit. So but anyway, yeah, the Death Star wall. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
That's your first official piece, isn't it?
Yeah, for the room, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll figure out working on work on that closet first, and I had to, since the laser was a little bit bigger than what I thought it was, or any of the paperwork said that it was. I ended up having to rip the door frame out, and which meant no more doors. And so I was originally just going to do the doors like make them look kind of Star Warsy. And well, without doors on it now, it's all open. So now I need to make the closet look Star Warsy. And so that the light wall is the first part of that inside there. There's going to be a shelf that's going to go up on top of it that'll have more lights in it and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It was kind of funny because I'm cutting it out and I'm filming as I was doing it, and I take a little video of my Ginny bits right there that were on the table, and so I cut everything out with an 1/8-inch bit, which I mean it was fine. It cut it out fine, but I'm cutting out, or I'm doing a painting shot on some Ginny bits, and I'm like, oh, well, I had a 1/4-inch one just sitting there. I probably could have gone a lot faster. Oops. So, oh well. But yeah, overall the project came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, except for I don't like the sheet. I used the shower curtain liner for the light diffuser, and when you're closer to it, you can still see the creases from the packaging. So I'm probably going to rip it out and put a piece of plexi back there and frost it or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Fun. Try a heat gun.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I'm curious to know if it'll flatten out or not.
Yeah. Well, I attached it to the back of the MDF with some spray adhesive, which I was actually kind of surprised that it attached as well as it did. So I don't know if I actually can do anything else with it right now, without just ripping it all out and putting something else back in there. I do have some more of the sheet of the shower curtain though, so I mean, I could try it again. I didn't have any staples handy, so I couldn't do it that way. But yeah, besides that, I haven't had any time to do anything else. I haven't been able to print anything, or do anything else really. But yeah, that's all good.
Hey Ryan, I got an idea for you to keep up with that Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to make a Death Star.
Yeah.
For the lens, so you can, adjust it so it's like the laser coming out of the Death Star.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, put it on the laser head. Yeah, that I got.
Yeah, around.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, now, yeah, we're definitely doing that.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Very awesome.
All you need the sound effects just before it fires, it builds up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll have to be a video of, the guy with the big old giant helmet on. And then he hits the button. And we'll have to do something like that. That'll be fun.
We know what your next 3D print project could be.
Very good. Let's see here. Let's check in here with some of these comments that are showing up. Let's see here. Teague, Emma is already gearing up for this year's challenge. I'm putting together a laser build for her now. Nice. Yeah, because remember her auteur died shortly after praying to the donkeys. Look forward to start posting in March. Nice. Very good.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Emma won she chose the HueForge license, so I think Teague, I think you were talking about how you guys didn't have a 3D printer quite yet. So we're asking about what to do with that. So it'll be cool to see what the young minds do with some cool 3D printing stuff. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got here. Here's Earl. Earl's been doing a lot of 3D printing on the Beast, the Best Bamboo Lab P1S. 140 hours printing stuff for his grandsons. Nice, good job.
I started a question for you in there.
Oh, did you? Okay. Let's see here.
And Sean, somebody out here wants to know if you're from near the Carroll, Iowa area.
Carroll, Iowa? I'm in Des Moines. So not too bad.
Darren got a A1 for Christmas. Been melting filament nonstop. Nice. Very good.
That's a good way I'm putting it.
Yeah. Brandon has a question. Anybody hear of Kurimoto? It does CNC 3D printing and lasers. It's open source, nothing to download, runs in your browser. I have not heard of that, but that will be something I will be checking out then.
Cloud-based.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Haven't played with it. I got it open. Looks pretty nice. I just always fear getting into an ecosystem that's cloud-based. You can't. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being old.
I agree. Or at least I did before I got this bamboo.
Well, but there's a sliver of hope in there now.
Yeah.
That it won't just become a giant brick later on down the line.
Yes. Yeah. That was an interesting thing that came out. That they are. Well, it was. I think they're. Who was it? Somebody put out a video. Oh man, who was it? It was Teaching Tech. Put out a video about a group of people that they were able to jailbreak the bamboo X1 carbons and be able to get in and change some stuff around or whatever. And then Paul, what happened to I guess Bamboo saw this and said, hey, yeah, you can do that, but you're avoiding your warranty.
Well, at first they saw it, and then because it was depending on what firmware you were on, so they pushed out a new firmware to prevent anyone else from doing it. And then they got into talks, like, they pulled the corporate, well, we're making sure, all your data is safe. I'm like, it's a 3D printer, but okay. And so he comes up, I guess, Spaghetti Monster, the head of Bamboo Labs. I don't know. I'm just reading this, but he comes out and says, we could have taken the Raspberry Pi approach or the Apple approach. We took the Apple, and he makes some okay points in there, going back and forth, closed or open ecosystem. And, after talking with the X1 Plus team, who is the one who first broke this.
That's who it was, yeah.
He was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. It's kind of a one-time shot of, if you want this, you can use it, but you void your warranty. We can't help you. We're not going to help you. You're on your own. And they're going to come out with a new version, which is going to be labeled R at the end of it, whatever, for the firmware. And after that, you can't jailbreak it. But they did say they're going to have API access, and I'm trying to remember what the other thing he said. But basically, they are working towards having third-party options, but that's far down the road.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's something. When you really think about it, though, voiding your warranty. Hey, just keep the print. Don't screw with it for a year. And then the warranty doesn't matter anymore. It's gone anyway. But interesting. Yeah. Do we need it? Who knows? I mean, people jailbreak, Apple stuff, but that's really, I think, more to get it to work on other, like when back in the day when you could only get an iPhone on Verizon, people would jailbreak them so that they could use them on the other, carriers or whatever. But
well, now it's to get the bubbled colors right. So, because I don't even know blue, green. I don't know. I use Android, but some people.
See, that's why, because you're green.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't even notice. I just know people will be like, "Oh, you." But this company literally set up just so your text would come through as the Apple color.
Yeah.
They found a way to you sign up for the service and you send a text even from Android, and an Apple person will think you sent it from an Apple.
Oh, wow.
And they were using one phone. This company was using one phone number, I think, to call an Apple server. So I don't know the technical part, but basically they were using one phone number to send millions of texts just so they could be Apple's color.
That's funny.
And then, of course, Apple goes and, finds a way to shut that down.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Find a way to bypass that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just something to do.
Yeah.
Like if I tried to break it, I'd brick it more or less.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, I had what was it? One of those I had the BlackBerry, the one that you could touch, and it was touch screen, but it would click as well. I forget which one it was, but you couldn't get that on whatever carrier that we had. I think it was T-Mobile or something like that. So we bought them and had them jailbroken so that we could use them. It was fun, but that was a long time ago. Crazy.
Yeah, and I think the only thing this X1 Plus team did, really what their main goal was, I guess on the Bamboo, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was to get the readout of the mesh on the leveling. So,
yeah, I guess that's one thing that they were able to do, is they were able to get more accurate information off of it or something like that, or like a live view of it. I didn't quite understand. It's above my head. But it's pretty cool. I mean, hey, it's kind of all that open source group networking thing. They'll be able to make it do things that that it couldn't do before. Now, and that the X1 Plus people also did say that anything that they had found in it. So the reason the reason that they were able to get into the X1 and jailbreak it was because it was a Linux computer basically inside the X1, and which is different than the P1 stuff. And so that's why they were able to get into the background of it and such like that. But I guess like however they run these, the P1s and the other ones are a different whatever. But they did say that they didn't find anything nefarious going on.
Yeah,
which is nice to see, because that was something that a lot of people were very much questioning. The what was happening in the background of the Bamboo printers and stuff like that. So it was very good to see. Nothing overly shady going on there.
Yeah, well, they did say their level 1 texts don't. From what I could kind of gather through reading through that article, their level, it was through a debugging. That's, I think, how they found it, through a debugging that they used for when they were making the printer.
Yeah.
And they hadn't shut that off. So the printer was spitting that out. And that's how they came in through the back way. Well, apparently their level 1 techs did not have access to get that. And they're not going to allow them to have access to that. You have to step up before you can have access to a lot of, again, I don't know what's sensitive on a 3D printer. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's connecting, you're going through your Wi-Fi, maybe, is.
It might be how proprietary the software is.
Just a way to lock it down.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's not open source one bit, so
no,
very proprietary.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Mr. Kenneth. Been making room in the garage. Very nice. Very nice. If anybody didn't get to see the show last week, Kenneth is he was the big winner and chose the Onefinity as his prize. So congratulations there. Got to make room for it.
Well done.
Everybody's been put on notice now because Kenneth's making some cool stuff with just his little diode laser. Now he's going to have a CNC.
Nice one, too.
I'm glad I'm just hosting now. I don't have to try to compete against that guy. 5 years down the road, he's going to have like 18 CNCs running around. Let's see here.
He says he paid the difference and upgraded to a journeyman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's the way to do it. I didn't know. Oh, that's cool that they did that.
Jerry, let's see, X1 Carbon works perfect. No reason to screw with the firmware. Yeah. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things they're saying, though, is, we're buying so much hardware. We own the hardware. Shouldn't we be able to make that choice, though?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to, great. I'm not saying but I still think it comes back to that Apple deal of, forcing you to use this system.
Yeah. Well, what was that one printer years ago? I put it out of my mind. It was a big thing pertaining to.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, everything you had to use their filament and everything because it was like a weird size and stuff like that. And
well, not necessarily the size, but they locked it all out. They took all the information and the programming, then locked it up and said, "No, this is ours." Then they went. They actually went on to market with it.
Yeah, I forget who that was.
It's not a cheap one. They're still around.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like the MakerBot?
Yeah, I think it was the MakerBot that did that.
Didn't they have like a Keurig kind of thing where it would scan like a QR code or something on the filament?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they did or didn't. XYZ DaVinci did that, I know. They put chips in theirs. Of course, there's ways to hack it. We all hack those.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Oh man, that was pretty awesome there, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Jumped up to the bigger one. Whew. Hey, that's a deal.
We have a few winners in here.
So Onefinity was great to work with them. They reached out about the option. Nice, very cool. Look here. Matt Haas has got a work table the exact size of a Onefinity, for the day I get one. Nice, very good. I'm pretty happy with my Gatton. She does a good job. And I don't know if anybody noticed in that video, there's a shot where I'm panning across the front of the Gatton about all the screws that are missing.
I'm going to have to go back and look now.
Yeah. I have a bunch of screws missing out of the front of my machine because when I had the screws in there, I put it together pretty well. I mean, I tried my best to get it good, but I had when I put the screws into that top part, it cattywampus something. So I took them out, and then it was straight. So I was like, all right, there we go. We're perfect. We're not ever putting anything back in there. I should probably put some like 3/4 inch long screws in there just so that there's something in the holes. But
Doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it's fine. Screw it. Who cares? It works.
For machine.
Yeah, that machine does good. We got to do some upgrades to it this year. Hopefully, there's some good parts hanging around over here, and when I get time to, we're gonna add them on there. Let's see here. Yeah. Matt saying if it works, it works. Yep, that's right. That is right. So. So Hamilton, speaking of our buddy Hamilton from earlier, he's put out 2 videos so far this year. Looks like he's taking a different approach than to what he did last year. He mentions in the video he just put out about some drying racks for the CNC drying racks, that the CNCwithme.com already has like 150 members on it. So congratulations to him. It looks like that's going to be a good success. He decided to shut down his Patreon, and so that's going to be going away. And it seems like everybody's moving over to the CNC with me, which it's, from my understanding, it's kind of doing the same thing as the Patreon, but you're just doing it directly with Hamilton instead of through somebody else.
He's got a pretty good deal on that through the end of the month. I think
Yeah.
it was $99 through the end of the month, I believe.
I think you're
per
correct.
year. Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not.
No, you're getting every file that he has on CNC, and all that. Which that hit me sideways when he offered that out there as his prize last week. I don't know if everybody else caught that. When I was talking with Hamilton about being a sponsor with us, we were talking about just like doing one of his small file packs, like doing a couple of those. So that's what I thought he was going to be. You get onto a site and say, I want the bottle opener file pack. And then he was like, here's the whole thing. There you go. I was like, holy cow. Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see here. What's Rob saying? Doesn't Patreon charge a large percentage? They do some amount. I don't know. I mean, I don't have Patreon.
It says we keep a 5% of each transaction plus payment processing, currency conversion, payout fees, and applicable taxes.
So about 85%. So, but yeah. So the CNC with me, that's pretty cool. I mean, he's been putting out some. I like the current style of his videos. I'm enjoying because it's kind of showing. It's very much me relating to a person like me that just jacks up everything. So I've been enjoying the couple videos that he's put out so far this year. So I hope that continues. Yeah. And he's been doing the mystery G code, which is pretty funny. So the one guy that's been working with him sends him a file that it just tells him what bits to put in, and it cuts them, and it's pretty funny. So very good.
Talk about projects. All right, Paul. I do want something similar to that sign. If I even buy the files from you, but I do want to hang one of those up in my restroom.
Yeah, I forgot to show these, but here, let me.
Yeah, but you'd have to, Sean. You have to make it into the shape of a toilet seat.
That works.
I'll send you the file for it. But yeah, I did some science, and it's got the.
Oh, I love the lights on it. I didn't know you had lights on.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So.
Light up the bathroom in the process. There's your nightlight too.
So, Paul, you do a whole lot of stuff with like lights and everything. and I had bought some lights for the wall there. So what do you do for all the little power controllers or whatever? What is your process for that? Because like, I mean, I got 100 feet of this stuff for $10, but it only has the one little box. So what do you do for power for all your little projects?
It really depends on how much time I want to spend on it. So like this sign right here,
Yeah,
it's just a strip, and then let's see if I can get in there, get that focused.
Is that RGB?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay. Oh, that's a simple controller too.
Yeah, and these are about. I'm sorry, trying to focus it so you can see.
you're all right. Yeah, it's what the little silver thing is.
Yeah,
That's
and
got
so
little buttons.
that. Yeah, it's just you got color, on, off, and mode. Real simple. These cost about $1.13.
Oh, okay.
$1.50 for that. And then for the LEDs, though, I always like to use, I forget the actual part number, but it's the 4-pin. So if you can,
Yeah.
so the 4, I always get that because then if I wanted to get an Arduino or something like that and really spend some time and regulate the power, go through all that, and make my own custom colorways, that's what I'll do. I'll get a oh my gosh, Arduino Mini Pro, I think is what it's called, and I'll use that, and then I'll go in and I'll program stuff in idle and upload it through there and control the LED lights that way. And then
Are you also using addressable LEDs or just the RGBs?
The addressable.
The addressable. Okay, those are
That, yeah. So that's why you always use the 4-pin, because if you use a 3-pin, you can only just do red, green, blue, and the different. But the 4-pin, you can.
the fourth is your data.
Yeah, so you can do like arrays and stuff like that. So you can say, turn on the 8th light in this chain, and then run backwards, and then on the 9th light, hit this one and go forward. And so you run in your power, you run it in, you got to power your Arduino, and then you have to power your lights. So you run a power to the VCC on the Arduino, and then that's then you run the power directly to the lights itself with a oh my gosh, I forget the actual name of it. Cleans the power out. Forget. Oh yeah, but a transistor. Yeah, it's some kind of transistor. I'll probably say it wrong. Someone will probably correct me.
That's all right.
Good.
But it cleans it out, and so I have a whole video on it when I did that LED the Star Trek badge.
Yeah.
I know it's an hour long, and it's 2 videos, but it's an hour long, and I go into all of that, and then I also have the schematics that I use for it, so you can add a button, so you can change it all, and all the coding for the Arduino.
Sweet.
So I know that was a long, complicated answer, but you can get those. You can get.
Where did you get the little one? Was that just off of Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
Okay.
So, but there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. Just make sure you look at your strip. Is it 12 volt or 5 volt or 24 volt?
Right.
And then make sure the controller can handle it, and then your power supply actually works on that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh,
Sweet. Yeah, I was like looking around at them, and I was like, all right, well, because I put 50 feet into that thing, so I've got another 50 feet of stuff, but they had lower footage ones, and they were more than what this one would cost. So I was like, why would I buy I'll do something with these other lights.
Some of them are the spacing of the light. You know how
Yeah.
far apart the
It
lights
could
are.
be, yeah, because these are spaced kind of far apart. So.
Hey, Ryan, we have a question out in the
Oh.
chat. How's the scoreboard going?
Oh,
I'm sorry I brought up Arduino.
no, you're good. Well, you can't see it from where I'm at the moment, but there's a couple boxes of parts hanging out here for the scoreboard. But the scoreboard hasn't gone anywhere yet. It's just still sitting in the garage right now on the floor. Hasn't gotten hung up or anything yet, but that's one of the projects that's on the list. So
Springtime.
Yeah.
How much does that scoreboard weigh?
It's not too bad, actually. I mean, it's probably overall 150 pounds or so.
Oh.
I mean, it's 17 feet long and about 3 feet tall, and I don't know, 6-8 inches deep or something like that. So I mean, it is pretty sizable, but it doesn't weigh as much as you think it should. You know. So I mean, I can move it around and pick an end up on it and move it around a little bit when I need to. But yeah, it's not too bad. It was like when I loaded it onto the trailer to bring it home. Me and the lady that had it picked it up and moved it, so it wasn't that bad. So even though I say 150 pounds, it probably wasn't even that. But.
All right, let's see it, Paul. You flashed something that got me interested.
So this is when you said the scoreboard, I was like, oh
yeah.
So, and it's all hooked up. You just have to plug and play, plug it into the Arduino. So when you start working on the scoreboard, Ryan, tell me and I'll start working on this, because I've had this now for 2.5 years.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Oh, Chiefs 17, Dolphins 7 at the half. I knew that was happening. What was the score from the game earlier today? Was it the Titans Browns that played earlier today?
It was the Ravens and the Browns.
No, Ravens.
No, it was the Browns and the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
The Texans won.
Damn.
I know it. I know.
Joey Flacco. Man, I wanted Joe. This year's been the stories coming out, like going into this weekend, were so cool. You know, everyone had like a really cool story to it, but except for that game, like that game didn't really have a big meaning behind it, except for, you know, they would, if the Browns would have won, they would go play the Ravens, and then you got Joe Flacco playing the Ravens, and that the Browns used to, or the Ravens used to be the Browns. You know, I mean, there was some pretty cool story stuff going on there. I was hoping that was going to happen, but oh well. Oh, Texans blew them out. Yeah. I watch Pat McAfee pretty much every day. I'm not a huge sports guy, but I really enjoy his personality and the guys on his show's personalities. And I like that they show a lot of the background of sports stuff, like stuff that you don't really think about, like the business, I guess more the business side of sports. They had the Texans quarterback on like Monday, I think it was, because they're at the national the playoffs for the college football, and they he was on there. Man, that dude is so smart, and he says everything right. He answers everything right. He was wearing one of his teammates' clothes, like the clothing line that his teammate had come out with. He was wearing that. I mean, it was like, man, Stroud is his name. He's going to be a problem for a long time for any of those other teams. But man, what a outstanding young man! So you can tell he was raised very well. So, But yeah, I'm still upset that Joe Flacco is not going to go anywhere. Oh well, it is what it is. All right, let's see here. Do we have anything? Let's see. It was like 38-14. Ooh, ouch. I was working on Christmas lights, so I didn't get to watch anything. All right, let's see here. Yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to jet through here and make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, nothing else at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna get some good projects going this year. Hopefully sooner than later, the background here will start changing. But I got to get the closet done first. And Kenneth has a question here, and all that good stuff. But it's gonna be a fun 2024. What's the best free cam software? Are any of them able to do 3D? Well, Fusion 360 can. You can do that for free.
Well, what about cutting though? I think is that the question? Cutting on the machine or actually designing something?
I'm thinking CAD. Yeah, cam. Well, I mean, anything should be able to do cut the 3D if it's already, part of the G code or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, I think you can generate toolpaths from Fusion 360. I think you're limited, and there's very there's a steep learning curve to it, but it's free. And if you use certain features, and then the next year when they roll out the next version, they'll take away certain features that were previously available. So that's the only issue I see with Fusion 360. Now you can look at Blender and Blender Cam. Blender's open source and free. It is an add-on. It's not. I haven't done it in a while, but I want to get back and look at that. So that is a free version, and you can CAD, Cam in Blender, no restrictions. I just haven't dived into that. I know we've talked about Pixel CNC before. It's not free. You can play around with it and actually generate G code, and if you like it, cool. If not, hey, move on to something else, kind of thing. But for actual 3D, I don't think there's anything free out there, free except for Blender and Fusion. And Fusion has the restrictions.
That'll do 3D itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he has the CAD modeling down. He said it's the toolpaths that I need to learn. So,
if you just want to play around with a cam software that's easy, I mean, Easel. It's not great, but I still even use it. Even though is stupid because I have the Vectric stuff, but the Vectric, I have desktop on Vectric, which is limits you to 24 by 24, and like doing this project over here, I needed a bigger area than that, so I couldn't even use the Vectric for that. But you can make the easel do whatever size you want, but you'll be like 2.5D. You couldn't do full 3D with it.
Because can it import STLs?
Yeah.
Easel?
Yeah.
Or is that Easel Pro? I didn't know.
I think regular Easel you can do. You can import STLs. I don't think there's any restriction to that. I have the CAD modeling down. Oh yeah. Wait, whoops. Used Blender a few years ago. Let's see here. What's Harry saying here? Tried some of the free things like JST or JS Cut, but in the end they bought Vectric. Yeah. Most people, I think, Kenneth, are going to tell you at some point you're going to want to get Vectric.
Especially with that machine.
Yeah, you had to get the If you go the desktop, you get 99% of the stuff that you do with the Vetric Pro one, but for less money. But you are limited to that 24 by 24. But you could still tile and stuff like that if you wanted to do it. But whatever. But yeah, I think most people are going to tell you end up going to Vetric at some point. Let's see here. Harry's got Vetric desktop, but his CNC is smaller than the limit. So, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I've had the Vetric desktop now for probably a year and a half. I have not done one project with it yet.
Shame on you.
Well, it's because I like to work. I like to work big, and stopping at that 24-inch spot is just not viable for me. And then I'm like, I don't even think about trying to buy the larger, to go to the pro version of it. So
yeah, that's what I got. Carveco. Didn't think about Carveco.
Oh yeah, I think Carveco is really big with the Onefinity people. And there's probably some discount codes or something like that. Yeah, the Journeyman's a 48 by 32.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, so that's pretty good size.
But isn't Carveco a subscription?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. If anybody checks it out though, like go to Hamilton's channel and click on his links, because I think he has a link for like Carveco or something like that. I think. I don't know. I've never used the Carveco, so I don't know.
Why can't we? I can't wait until we're back to owning software, not renting it.
Or cloud-based.
Yeah.
They're trying now to get you to rent options in your car.
Yeah.
I know it. Isn't that terrible?
Doing it.
That my son works for GM, and I told him, I said, with your GM discount or no GM discount, I'm not buying a GM car if they're going to make the things that are built into the car an option to use.
Yeah,
That's a lot of new guys.
Like heated seats, you have to pay extra to use them. And, it's just, I think it's ridiculous. And they're doing away with Android Auto and what's the other one for Apple? Apple Play.
Apple Play.
Yep, they're doing away with those in the new electric cars and coming out with GM's own subscription-based service.
Nope.
That's what I say. Not for me.
Bluetooth and a phone.
Yep. Crazy.
My nephew has.
I think Tesla actually started with that, because they can, like, for a long time you bought a Tesla, you could supercharge the thing for life. It didn't matter. And then they started making that so that if you sold the car, somebody else would have to buy that. Like, they will turn it off. It's like, whoa. No.
All their cars have heated seats. They found that we're just going to make everything the same.
Yeah.
And then we'll turn on and off features as you want to pay for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It will speed it up.
BMW was one of the first to start that.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. It's crazy.
My opinion, you buy it, it's in the car, it's yours.
It ought to work. Yeah.
There's Mr. Jerry. Hey, Jerry. How you doing, bud? Very cool.
Yeah, my nephew has a Jeep Cherokee, and he's putting a tow kit on it. It's wired and everything for the lights, but they have to turn it on. So you have to take it to a dealer, spend $150 to have them.
Probably all they do is put a circuit breaker in or something.
Yeah.
Oh, they program. They just turn it on in the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kit cars are going to be huge soon. These companies are getting too greedy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's That's why I like my old Volkswagens.
All cars by 2030 are required to have auto kill switches. The police can walk up and just hit a button and kill your car.
Huh.
By 2030 is what they're looking at. Or 20,
The
yeah, they're starting 2026.
2029.
I might be keeping my vehicle a lot longer than I ever planned on.
Yeah. Shoo.
Makes me miss my 1982 Ford Bronco.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh, that was a Bronco too.
Yeah. $500 at a police auction. Who knows where that thing came from?
Nowhere good.
Ended up in good hands.
Man. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we got some fun stuff going there. Hopefully this year I can finish it. I got to during the winter here. I need to put the rear end together to my little electric car, and so that it's ready to go for the home show season. So
That'll be fun.
yeah, I've been for the last 5 years. I was the president of our home builders association for this county, and so in doing that at the home shows, I would get an extra booth. Like, so I'd pay for my company's booth, and then they would give me one as a thank you for being our president type thing. Because it's not like that paid anything. So yeah, so I've now stopped doing that after 5 years. I let somebody else do it, and so now I'm down to one booth at the home show, and I need to be able to do my Christmas lights and my solar stuff all in a 10-foot by 10-foot spot. So I've that might be a video that I show working on or something like that, because we're gonna have to. I'm thinking I'm gonna build like a little fake garage door surround that it'll go over the electric car and be able to show the Christmas lights on there, and then have the electric car that has the solar company logo stuff all over it. So
there you go.
yeah, so that might be pretty cool. We'll see.
Now you got to make a little trailer to tow behind it with a couple really nice solar panels on it.
Yeah.
and the generator to charge the electric car.
Yeah.
That's Tesla.
It's a 1974, so it'll just plug right in.
Does that use lead acid batteries? Does it?
It did, yeah. Well, technically, it still does. Yeah, they actually had something cool. So, for anybody out there that doesn't know, I have a 1974 Zagato Zelee. No, you've never heard of it. No, you've never seen one. There was less than 500 of them made. They're little Italian cars, and it looks like a brick. So I have one, and it has less than 2,000 miles on it. It's like 2,000 kilometers. That's when the rear end originally blown out, and they put other stuff in there. But anyway, so it has originally it had 8 batteries underneath of it. So I can stretch my arms out, and I can touch a headlight with this arm and a tail light with this arm at the same time. I mean, that's how small this thing is. I'm 6'2", so it's a very tiny car. And yes, I do fit in it just fine. Amazing.
How do those big shoes fit into it too? Or
yeah, they do. I mean, there's no hump or anything on the floor. It's all nice and flat. So the big old 14s reach the pedals just fine.
You made a video of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of videos of working on it. So the rear end, somebody that had it before me, it at one point at one point it belonged to the University of Maryland, and somebody that worked there ended up with it after that, and I guess after the rear end had blown out, and they put a forklift motor into the back of it and made it chain drive with like a golf cart rear end of some sort. But There was no tensioners on it, and it was crazy loud because it was chain driven at that point. So I've gotten another golf cart rear end and extended the axles and stuff like that to make it work, and make it somewhat look like it was original. But with that forklift motor in it, I did some calculations. It would do about 60 miles an hour, and that would be very frightening.
That little thing, yeah.
It would not be doing that. I think 25 miles an hour in this thing is going to be plenty frightening enough. So it's only got a 4-foot wheelbase, so it's not like it's a big car. But yeah, so we got to get the thing wrapped up, but so this little garage door that I need to make for my booth can be pretty small because the car's only 4 foot wide. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyway. So what my point to that all was that the batteries are underneath of it, and so the center of gravity is 6 inches off the ground. So they when they were road and track, I was reading some articles on it in road and track from like the 70s, and they would take it around 90-degree street corners doing 25, 30 miles an hour in it at doing 25, 30 miles an hour, and they would just and go swinging around the corner because the center of gravity was so low, it would hold on and go.
Battery.
Yeah. Pretty funny. Yeah. But good times.
Ryan's Ride.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be on the secondary channel, which is that channel is called Shit with Wheels. The I is an exclamation point. So if you I haven't posted anything on that channel for quite a while, but it's there if you ever want to see it. So
I love the name.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been at this for a while here and haven't gotten anything accomplished. So I think that's good for this week. Mr. Paul Corliss, do you have anything that you want to say before we roll out of here?
Nope. I'm at a loss for words.
Good deal.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Well, it's a good show.
Good. Mr. Hammerquist, anything from you, sir?
Kapla.
Kapla.
Okay.
Throwing some Klingon out there.
Oh, okay. Sean, anything from you, sir?
Can't beat the Klingon. Okay. It looks like there's a gentleman, a driver. He is Mr. White. And it looks like he's stuck here in Iowa in this beautiful weather.
Oof.
Now, there's a trick. There's an Iowa trick. When it gets super cold, like right now, the wind chill is -30. And being a guy, when you go into the restroom, it's kind of difficult because things disappear. But what you do is you carry pepper in your truck. Okay. And then when you go to a truck stop and it's super cold and you run inside and you have to, do your thing, take the pepper, sprinkle it down there. And when it sneezes, you can catch it and do what you need to do. So that's a tip for Iowa. Other than that, stay warm, driver. I've been there. I know the feeling.
Yeah, that guy in the video, the Bass Pro Shop last week needs to know about that.
Oh, you missed that?
Oh yeah. Some dude, I guess he was drunk or something like that, jumped into a Bass Pro Shop pool naked. Man,
No.
Shrinkage got him bad. I don't even think they had to blur that thing out because it was bad times for that dude. Bad times. Man. Felt bad for him. Oof. But yeah.
Did it to himself.
Yep, sure did.
All right. Al Forte says he was listening intently to you, Sean.
Oh. Oh, Lordy. And
well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. We'll probably get back to like our normally type of show. Talking more about what's going on out there next week, and we'll keep on running this year. See what happens. So, thank you very much, everybody. If you have any thoughts or concerns, keep them to yourself. And I guess we'll see everybody next week. So thanks for coming. We'll talk at you later. Peace out, sauerkraut.